Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. I am excited to bring to you today another graduate of our school. And today is a very special day because we also have a very special graduate with us. While you all are tuning in, I am going to give you a little bit of history and a little bit of introduction of our today's guest. I have today with us Anthony Eichen, and he is a motivational speaker and also, of course, a Shetty Certified Coach. I couldn't be more excited about this interview because you are in today for an extremely inspirational story by a very motivating person who I am honored to know and to call graduate of our school. Welcome, Anthony. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me, Medina, and hi to everyone who's tuning in out there. I'm really excited to be here.
And we are excited to hear not only your story, but everything about your coaching journey, Anthony, because it has been a minute since you graduated and we did not know much about you. So today I'm going to be using this opportunity to ask each and everything about your coaching journey. And for sure, we are going to be taking questions from the audience. I anticipate we're going to have many. I am seeing so many alumni, so many students, and so many attendees from our followers being here today, and this is fantastic. Looks like you're having a fan base already.
I'm loving it. I just saw Viraj do jazz hands. So if those of you that don't know me, I come from like a dance background, which is why Viraj is doing the jazz hands things.
Well, since we're talking about your background, let's start right there. I know a little bit of your story, but our audience do not know anything about that. Tell us your story, and most importantly, tell us why and when did you decide to become a coach?
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I won't go too far back, but I'm from a gymnastics first and then a dance background. And I had the most wonderful life just performing all over the world and getting to do incredible shows like the Moulin Rouge in Paris and just living my dream and my passion. And it wasn't the easiest path though. I remember just being a kid and, you know, being bullied so much and being called every version of the word gay possible at school and having a real rough time with that, but never losing sight of my dreams and never losing sight of the work involved to get there. So I always just had this fire in my own belly. And throughout my 20s, that kind of developed into being a teacher, and I opened my own studio, training up a bunch of other dancers. And during that whole time, I used to always just have my students say, or they'd just come to me for advice and like mentorship things. So when I first learned about Shetty's Certification School, to be honest, life coaching for me was like Tony Robbins, and he's amazing, right? But I was like, whoa, he's intense. That's a lot. So I always had this version of a life coach that I thought wasn't a fit for me. It was something I didn't need. But then I've always been a bit of a fan of Jay's messaging and Jay on social media and things like that. So when I saw that he was doing a course, it kind of just spiked some interest in me as to the way he would do it. And also couple that with, I live in LA with my husband and we were in lockdown. So just stuck inside with nothing to do. So it was kind of like, well, I love Jay's messaging and I think he'd do a great coaching course and it's something maybe I would be okay at. So I just kind of signed up to it. And I didn't go into it being like, I'm going to be a life coach. It was kind of just to learn his methodologies and, you know, to become a better person and see where that would take me. But honestly, within the first week or the second week, I was writing business plans. I was coming up with business names to be a coach. I was so hooked on it and really saw value in what this could do to so many other people. So I kind of got out of my own head of, not for me, I'm not Tony Robbins, that's not my style. Even though I love Tony Robbins, I think he's awesome. It really changed my view of a life coach. And then I just fell in love with it. And 6 months later, here I am on this chat with you.
Well, Anthony, I must say that, there are certain applicants to the program that the whole team immediately becomes aware of. And, when you come into the program, the first people you speak to, guys, is your enrollment advisor. So that person will tell you everything about the program, but also ask you a few questions about why you would be a fit to this program. I must admit that you were one of the students who immediately went viral inside the school from the moment you finished your enrollment interview. I'm not kidding. I remember your enrollment advisor posting this for the team, saying that we have such an inspiring student, one that I'm going to be tracking and looking forward to congratulating him with the graduation. He's so inspiring. I remember that you managed to inspire the enrollment advisor, not the vice versa, during the enrollment call. And this my second question. I interacted with you on few occasions during your exam as well. I see you in the alumni community. You're a very strong person, and what you described to us probably shows that. Where do you bring your strength from? What is the source of that strength?
I really put it down to experience. And I think my parents always say I was just, the first few words I ever said as a little kid were, "It doesn't worry." And I know it sounds really cute, but it's also bizarre that a little toddler just comes up with, "It doesn't worry." Like I was this really peaceful, chilled out kind of little kid. And then as I went through, I guess, primary school, the later years, and then into high school, it kind of got chipped away at. Like I told you, I was being bullied, and I did gymnastics first, and everyone was saying that's for girls. And then when I went into competitive aerobics, and once again the bullying got intense. And then taking on dance, it was just, it was tough for me as a kid. But I think the strength comes from having the toughness thrown at me, but having the resilience to not give up. And that's happened to me time and time again in my life. And I know I mentioned before my husband, but even as a kid, when you're dealing with your own sexuality, the thought of being married is something that you have to write off. You have to say, well, that's never going to happen to me. And now I'm married. It's that resilience. It's that never really giving up. And second to that, we're on a surrogacy journey to have our own family. So our surrogate's pregnant and she's due in April. And I think that's just another example of resilience, of something that I've always wanted, to be a dad, not giving up and just finding a way, whatever it takes. And I bring that into my life as a human, to have that strength and resilience. But it's also one of the qualities that I pride myself on in being a coach now, is the tools that I've learned over decades of having, just to be so resilient, to be so strong. That's why I'm here. I want to be able to teach that resilience and that strength to other people. So yeah, I think back to your question, where does that strength come from? It's the never give up. It's the resilience.
Anthony, I'm so happy for you. First of all, I cannot help but congratulate you with this amazing news. I literally had tears when you said that. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for your husband. You guys deserve it. This is fantastic.
My husband's in the other room because I'm like, you can't be around while I'm doing this interview. So he's locked in the bedroom, listening on another computer.
Well, we're sorry about the lockdown, temporary lockdown, but yeah, this is exciting news, Anthony. And your story about the strengths, I think why I wanted you to bring it up, because I think it's very inspiring. A lot of the times, and probably now when you work with your coaching clients, you notice that probably every second person in any way or form or shape is struggling with handling judgment and opinions of other people. And I think you are such a role model, right, with everything that you've been through in terms of inspiring and motivating. So tell us, how do you work with your clients to help them get through their challenges?
Right. So I understand we all, no matter what walk of life you come from, I think one of the biggest, I mean, there's a lot of challenges we all face, but one of the biggest roadblocks is just fear. And we all have it. And I've worked with some amazing artists, singers, and I've had to dance for them on big live concerts and things like that. And I've seen them in balls of anxiety before they go on stage. And yet they portray this enormous amount of confidence. But I think just being human, we all have fear. So one of the things that I really like to bring into my coaching sessions is to be able to accept the fear and know that it's always going to be there, but to have the tools and the methodologies to be able to work through it to lead you towards success, because fear can be the thing that stops us from going after our big goals, the thing that stops us from achieving our big dreams, because we take the easier route. We take the path that maybe people around us say, oh, why would you do that? That's too hard. You know, we go the path. A lot of the time people choose the path that is just safest and easiest. And I love to break that down with my clients, and I like to break it down quite early in the process, because it's not that working with me I can just be like, here's the magic dust and you won't have any fear. It's working with me so that we can recognize those fears and see where they've become barriers to you living the life you truly want. So that's one of the things that I love to go in. But I'm also, you know, I come across really smiley and positive and energetic, and I am that person, but I also love to hold people accountable, and I love to be able to kick their ass, because when you set goals and when you come up, whether they're small ones first and then leading you towards huge ones down the track, I think accountability is one of the key ingredients to success, is having someone there to make sure you follow through on what you set out to have integrity around what you're setting, so that you can achieve that big goal that you've set. And it's a bunch of small steps along the way, but that's one of the things I love to work with as well, is having the action steps to get you there, not just set them, because a lot of us can set goals. It's actually doing the work that gets you there. And I really love that process. I really love the journey, and I love the hard work, and I just love holding people account to their word as well. So I think those two things are a combination of two big things that I get to work with right away, but also if working with me, we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughs. There's a lot of breakthroughs, transformations. We discover blockages together that the client never knew that they had, and that they thought it impacted only one area of their life. Turns out that it impacts everything. Try and get clients into flow, and just, I'm a success coach. So I work towards people's goals, setting big goals, and I really want to just be there for them, help them achieve them.
I love the part about the fears. To be honest, it's very, very refreshing. It's also different, but it's different in a good way, because I feel like there is a lot of pressure all the time to, after you identify the fears, to get rid of the fears. Yeah. And we all feel the pressure that if you have a fear, by default, that is stopping you, that is blocking you. And so you have a pressure to get rid of fears, because unless you got rid of them, you cannot actually proceed. But I feel like what you're offering is a new, fresh perspective, and that is, we all have fears. Now let's work into turning your fear into a motivator. Did I get it right?
Yeah, and I use this saying, rehearse your fears. Obviously, coming from a dance background, we have to rehearse everything before we put it on stage, the final product. So I use that term, let's get to work at rehearsing your fears. And when you do that, your fears become your superpower.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting. And I feel like if somebody has actually mastered that, that is definitely you. And again, I feel like you're a wonderful role model, in that process. Now, Anthony, this exciting way of success coaching, which, as I said, is very refreshing and very intriguing as well. I know that a lot of our coaches, as they graduate and they develop their practice and they become more and more in demand, they become more and more selective in terms of who they work with. What about you? Are you also selective in terms of working with particular segment of the clients, or do you just work with anyone who resonates and who wants to get success?
At the moment, I'm really enjoying the discovery call process and getting to know what it is the potential client wants, what their goals are and what their aspirations are, and also why they chose me, why they got on that discovery call with me. So the first thing is kind of just seeing if we're a fit for each other. And I'm really honest with that. Even with the client, I give them a week after that discovery call to say, think about it. If you don't feel like I'm the right person for you, that's totally fine, and vice versa. But the thing that the style of coach that I am is somebody that wants to work with people with goals, and goals that you're scared of, big goals, dreams, aspirations that you feel a little bit thwarted with, that you feel a little bit like you've always wanted to do it, but something's holding you back. I'm that person that I feel can help you achieve that goal, that dream, that aspiration. So that's, at the moment, that is exactly the kind of client I'm going after, and what I feel like they're the kind of clients that I'm attracting anyway in the messaging that I put out there. But I'm still open to, because I just want to help everyone. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. I am open to working with different kinds of clients as well, if it's a good match in our kind of client-coach relationship. So I'm open to those things, but I'm mostly drawn to people with those goals, dreams, and aspirations that need the help to get there.
Makes sense. And maybe one of our audience members already is a person like that, looking for a coach like you. So do not forget that you can get in touch with Anthony. We'll be revealing his contact details very soon. Anthony, one of the questions that I'm getting all the time about our graduates, ask them about their first coaching experience. Can you remember your first coaching experience? How was that?
It was like, when I watch it back, and especially because you record all of these things and put them in your log, when I watch it back, it's kind of funny, because the journey from where you start to where you get to is so transformative as who you are as a coach. And if I was to be really honest, I think I was a little bit of a know-it-all, and I've got this, and I've been mentoring my dancers for so long that I thought it would just flow into that. But I was just an advice giver. I was like telling everyone my version of what they should be doing before they'd even finish the sentence. Like, it's a combination of excited, like I'm like, I know what you're feeling, and I know what to do, and this is what you've got to do to fix it, because I've done it myself. It was just such a knee-jerk reaction to giving advice. And I laugh because I'm like that with my friends and my parents and my husband, and I kind of cringe now. I'm like, I was so annoying. I was always just offering my 2 cents on bloody everything. And I think one of the things that I've really loved about this coaching journey and the journey of the course is that I think I'm a better person because of it. I'm more present. I'm more curious. I listen more. I let people answer things themselves. I let them come up with their own advice on themselves and be there for them as a friend or a partner or a family member, whatever it is. But I remember at the very start, looking back, I was just such an advice-giving know-it-all.
And one thing I love about you is your honesty and, of course, your sense of humor. Daniel No, one of our alumni, when we were doing the interview, he said one of the biggest challenges, or maybe he said that during the exam, I don't remember. He said one of the biggest challenging was to tame that advising monster.
Even I remember my first fishbowl, I didn't even listen to anybody else's questions. I was just thinking of my own brilliant question that I would ask. I'm going to be like, I'm going to knock this out of the park with this question. And I didn't even listen to where the conversation was going, because I was so focused on just getting the best question in the fishbowl.
I can see how many people are resonating with what you said, alumni, students, just members of the audience. And I think you are being so raw and so honest, and so genuine, as you always are. I'm seeing Kim, one of our alumni, said I was like that too. Rajesh, one of our frequent viewers, says you are so refreshing, and Brooklyn says profound humility here.
Thank you, everybody.
I think that this is absolutely courageous, to actually, as a coach now, as a certified coach, to come and say that, and that's why I asked you that question. I knew that, you're going to give us a very interesting, refreshing, and honest answer to that. And I know also that you now became a very powerful coach, Anthony, because I have been watching parts of your journey, and then I saw you from the day you passed exam and then inside the alumni community. And update us on where are you today, how this has been going for you, how many lives are being changed right now by you.
I have had such a great time with all of this since graduating. And I haven't even, to be really honest, I'm in the process, my website's about to go live in like a week or two. And I really wanted it live for this call, but I'm not making it. I'm working with tech people, and that's just it's going to look amazing, but it's taken time. So I've been getting clients just through posting on social media and putting some words out on Facebook groups that I'm part of and things like that. And it's been like, I'm meant to be doing this because it's been working for me without massively trying yet. So I'm really excited to be able to go to the market and put everything out that I really want to put. But at the moment, I've been gaining clients. I start a reset group coaching series that goes through 3 weeks in December and 3 weeks in January. So everyone can get over 2020 and the WTF of what 2020 was, and we can reset to go into 2021. So I'm loving this whole journey. I'm not saying it's easy to get clients or I was just lucky or things like that. I've still been doing my some detailed kind of just hitting certain people up in certain pockets. And for me, it might be a little bit easier because I come from 20 years of owning a dance studio and having that pool of people that have already been taught by me. But I really believe in myself. I really believe in the product. And I think the biggest switch for me in the course was I see value in coaching. And like when I was talking about Tony Robbins at the start, that was my view. That's what I thought the coaching industry was. And he's incredible, but it wasn't me. Doing this journey, I've discovered my own version of what coaching means to me. And I've realized how much I can impact so many others out there. So it's been a really beautiful journey, and I'm so excited. I'm only just getting started. And I can't wait to see where this goes.
And we are so proud of you, Anthony. Honestly, I knew from the beginning when I saw that first message about your enrollment interview that you probably are meant to do this. Otherwise, your energy would not inspire right away through the phone, even the team members of our school who were speaking to you. And I know that also the coaching program that you mentioned, which is running in December and January, this is a group coaching, you said. Do you want to let our audience know if somebody wants to join, if it's open for applications? Maybe we can tell them all about that group coaching program, because I'm intrigued. I want to know.
Yeah, okay, amazing. Well, anyone that's interested out there, you can see my Instagram handle in my name in the screen there. Please DM me, because it's just going to be a goal setting. It's kind of like New Year's resolutions on steroids, but it's not just setting them and then letting the rest of the year happen. It's setting them, having someone to hold you accountable, but giving you all the tools, the methodologies, and my tricks to how to actually achieve them. And that's what that's all about. And I thought, what better timing to do it than just before Christmas, have a little break, and then come back in January. So it's just that little kick in the butt to make sure that I put you on path to actually achieving what it is you set out to achieve for that year. And I'm all about big goals too. So they can be small, but let's set some big, scary ones for you too.
I love that, Anthony. And I want to invite all the questions from the audience, because we're going to start taking some after just a couple of minutes. So if you have a question for Anthony, drop it below. We're going to take as much as we can. Anthony, speaking about success, if there is someone who have seen success in all forms and shapes, it is definitely you.
Oh.
Now, from your experience, and not only as a coach, but also from your previous experience seeing various successful people and artists, as you said, what do you think today success is?
Oh, I think success is different on everybody. And I make that clear when I say I'm a success coach. It's your success. It's, I've got accolades and this is what I've done, but it's what success looks like to you. And that can be that can be so different on everybody. But for me, having either been friends with or been associated with, or even my own version of success is the gift of failure as well, and I'll go back to that resilience. I don't think I can remember the feeling of success without it have had to overcome so many struggles along the way to get to that success. The success is so much bigger and so much more rewarding when it's been really hard. So I think the biggest successes involve that. They involve the hurdles, the resilience, the pain throughout, the never quit attitude. And it really comes down to experiencing all of that, but moving forward anyway. And I think that's my version. That's what I think success looks like to me. And I remember I did gymnastics as a kid, and I wanted to be in the Olympics. And then the head coach of Australia said, "You're too tall," which I am. I'm 6'3". So when I got to the right age to be trained properly, I was too tall to be a gymnast. They're tiny little muscle nuggets, and they're amazing at what they do. And I'm this lanky, long, tall thing. So I went into competitive aerobics, which is a bigger sport in Europe than it was in Australia. But I ended up becoming the world champion in this sport. But to get there, when I was really young, I was third in the world, and everyone said, "You're going to win next year, blah, blah, blah." I went from third. The next year I came 11th. Then I went to 7th, and then 5th, and then back to 7th, and then 4th, and then 2nd, and then finally 1st. And I tell that story because it's one of the achievements I treasure the most. And had I won it the second year in after I was meant to, I wouldn't think of it like that. It was the struggle to get there, and it took years, and it took so much training. I'm so proud of that moment, purely because of not being the best at the world, but the hard work, the slog it took me to get there. And I think not everyone needs to be a sports person or win a gold medal or win championships for that, but it's the story of that resilience. It's the never give up. It's the move forward, take 3 steps back, take 4 steps forward. That resilience is where success really lies.
I love your definition of success, first of all, because it resonates with me. I also know that Jay also resonates with this definition of success. And I think that you are so right there, because the victory and the taste, the sweetness of success cannot be complete if you didn't really struggle to get there. And the sweetest victory is definitely after that many struggles. So yeah. Let's take some questions from our audience. And Sharon is asking, have you had anyone question the legitimacy or the value charging for this along the post? And how have you addressed that internally and in messaging externally?
Right, that's a great question. When it comes time to discussing prices, I make sure I'm on a phone conversation with them, whether it's a Zoom or whether it's a phone call, whatever's best. But I try to do that in person, or not in person, either in person or on the phone, because I feel like at the cost point it needs to be a personal conversation. And I leave it to a certain part of the conversation where they're inspired and they can see real value in what it is that you're able to help them with, after setting some micro goals and then explaining why I'm the right coach for them. And then I go into the prices. I've only got a 3-month, a 6-month, or a 12-month option, and I let them choose. And I'm quite surprised that people are choosing the 6-month or the 12-month options versus the smaller one, because they're so inspired by the value that they can get for themselves that price becomes the secondary concern. Whereas if it was done in an email, whether it was done really early in the conversation, I feel like it can be a negative put in front of their face straight away that can put them in a resistance kind of state. Whereas as soon as they're inspired, as soon as they can see where you can take them, as soon as they know you're the right fit for them, I think price just becomes that secondary thing. And it's, for me so far, it's like, it's just been sign me up, let's go.
Well, Anthony, this is absolutely fantastic tip, and that's the entrepreneur speaking in you. So, I feel like this is basically one of the best answers we have been given about how to offer the pricing conversation, because it's scary and a lot of people feel nervous about, talking over their prices over the phone. But you are so right. It should be a personal conversation, because coaching is a personal process in general, and it's a relationship. So thank you for answering that question so brilliantly. Next one is from your colleague, alumni, Donna Burfield, who passed her exam last week. And she's asking, what was your biggest aha moment during the course?
That's really good. There was so many. There was, honestly, and I encourage everyone, get on as many practice sessions with your fellow coachees, because I had so many within that, of just so many different calls within the course that I was like, oh my God, I've been that way. I've viewed life that way. My biggest aha moment was how much I loved coaching. I honestly didn't even do the first video thinking I was going to be a coach. It really was just in lockdown, let's learn Jay's methodologies. He seems like he knows what he's doing. I'll just do this course and get the qualification. And then it was literally that first or second week that my mind exploded, and I could see so much value as to how I could help other people. And that was my biggest aha moment within the course, definitely. But then there was so many others along the way, especially that one that I shared before about how advicey I was. It was just so obvious during the course that that's how I was for so long. So that was great too, because it from that day forward, of that realization, I changed myself, and I just paused a little bit and started to be way more curious in conversations and with other people and in life in general. So that's been a big aha moment for me too.
So Anthony, what do you do now when someone comes and let's say asks for an advice, somebody from your family members? Do you now have to struggle and like, okay, let's bring back the advising monster, or how do you do that?
Well, the key word you just said was asks for advice. Is usually, like in the past, I would just give advice even if it wasn't asked for. So I do have, especially in my friendship group, I seem to be that person that people would go to for advice, whether it's about relationships or business or career or finance, whatever it is. I do have friends that will come to me for those things, but now I make sure it is definitely asked for, and it's not just provided or rammed down their throat from me before they've even asked. So the key word was ask.
I love that. I love that. And Preeti, your another colleague, alumni, is also having a question for you. And that is, how are you making your discovery calls enticing, especially when we tell our clients coaching is a process where we are not advising, but a discovery process with reflective questioning to get the buy-in?
Right. I love that. I make sure the discovery call is still a fun, goal-setting experience. I make sure I would call it there's the professional lingo that you have to put in those calls for sure. But for me, and what's been successful for me, is that the focus is not that. Is that the focus is that they get a sense of who I am, what I'm about, and how I can help. And they can also get a sense of what's possible for them. And if you can do that in the discovery call, all while still delivering the professional stuff that you need to, I think you're on a winner. But I've had a lot of success in definitely focusing on the other stuff and getting straight into the inspiring side of it, the what's possible side of it, and creating that relationship. I love to create a rapport straight away, and they can see that the process is going to be fun and that they're going to look forward to our sessions each week or bi-weekly, whatever it is. So yeah, that's how I handle my discovery calls, and they've been going really well. And mine are only 30 minutes in length, and I feel like it's a really great amount of time to be able to tick all of those boxes.
Speaking about the lingo, some of our audience members may not know what a discovery session is. So Anthony, maybe you can explain how do your discovery sessions work in terms of if someone gets in touch with you and books the discovery session, what they can expect as a coaching client potentially?
Yeah, they can expect, first and foremost, you have to create that relationship of what a coach is and set up their expectations, what we are and what we're not. And I think for those of you that are doing the course, that you learn that quite early in the course, but I encourage towards the end just to revisit it because it's done so many modules before, just to revisit it before you go out to market. So you want to set up that really powerfully. And I get that done quite early because I like to get into the fun stuff. I like to get into the relationship creating stuff. So I get that done quite early. Then I go straight into, why are you on this call with me? I want to hear from them as to what made them get on this call. And then I go into, what do you want to do? If that wasn't there, if those things weren't in your way, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? So they kind of set up a little bit of goal setting within the call. And then I go into, here's why I can help and here's why I'm the right person for you. And then right at the end, I just leave it with, I like to give them a week, or if I speak to them on Thursday, I'll say, I'll be in touch with you early next week, or give them a week to really process it. And so far for me, they've hit me up before I've gone back to them a week later because they're inspired. They want to get started. They can see value in it. And then we go from there. And also at the end of that, I talk about prices at the end, but I don't leave them with just the price information. I go back into a little bit of the goal setting and make sure they finish the call on seeing what's possible for themselves. And yeah, definitely there's a tip there. Don't leave them with just the price information at the very end. Take them back to what's possible for them and then say you'll be in touch really soon.
That's a sign of a real powerful coaching, because if the client experienced your powerful coaching during the discovery session, they will not be able even to wait for those few days until you're going to follow up with them, Anthony. Congratulations. So unfortunately, our time is going towards the end, and I'm going to use this opportunity to ask you my last question. Who do you see, Anthony, in 5 years from now as a coach? How does that coach success ultimately looks like now to you?
Wow. I've got a whole plan. I've got a business called I Can Achieve, and obviously Icon is spelt with my surname. My phase one of the business is success coach, motivational speaker. And I give back on Fridays. So people struggling with their sexuality or being bullied at school, they come to me for free sessions just on Fridays, and it's either for them or for their families. That's the now of it. Next year, I want to add one more thing to that, and that's podcasting and YouTube channel and things like that. And I know I've really listened to Jay's methodologies there in small steps, big priorities. I don't want to launch too many things right off the bat. Then where I see it in 5 years is two massive goals that I want to have are retreats. I want to be able to create stunning retreats that people can come to and experience life-changing weekends, or however many days it is. This is a goal that I'll work on in a few years, but I just want to have incredible retreats. Second to that, I want to be able to bring the world's top speakers like your Lewis Howes, Jay Shetty, Brene Brown, those kind of things. I want to have a massive conference in Australia, which is my home country, and I love it so much. I want to be able to bring top speakers in from around the world, have one weekend conference, and maybe it's in Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane and Perth, and do that and bring the best of the best to Australia and transform as many Australian lives as possible. So I think that's where I'm heading over time. I'm really cautious isn't the right word. And I'm not playing it safe. It's just, I want to make sure I do everything properly. And so I've got my launch with just phase one of the business next year, adding those things, and then working towards the big goal stuff over the next 5 years.
What a fantastic plan, Anthony. And first of all, as I said, we are very proud of you. Second, we know that you are going to get there, and we know that You are already making us proud as our graduate, and we know you are going to transform so many more lives. So just to remind our audience, if you're looking for a success coach who is going to keep you accountable, but also bring real fun into your life, I think by now you understood that you need Anthony Icahn, and you definitely should get in touch with him through his Instagram handle that you are seeing on your screen right next to his camera. But also you can find Anthony's profile on our website anytime, in case you didn't remember or you didn't write down his Instagram account login. So you can find him on our website under Find a Coach, and Anthony's references and the details are right there. Anthony, we thank you for your time, and thank you for being so awesome. You are fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me. I love it. I love the school, and I love everything about what the last few months has brought me. So I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you so much.
And we love you, Anthony. We're going to be following your success in the alumni network, and let's do this again sometime in 2021.
Yes, I'd love to. I'd love to. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, hit me up for whatever you need.
Hit Anthony up. You have a great day, everyone, and tune in next week as I will be bringing another Shetty Certified Coach with another exciting interview. Have a good one, and stay growing and keep making wisdom go viral, just like our graduates. Bye-bye, Anthony. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.